All right, I'm going to get things started. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. We're so excited to let you all know about our new youth residential recovery program at Jefferson Center. We just launched this program early in September, and we've been having really a lot of success. And we just want to share with everyone so you know who we are, what we're doing, how to refer to us, and we can answer any questions you all have. My name is Jessica Smith. I am the Director of Business Development and Community Engagement here at Jefferson Center. And I am your contact if you want to ever meet and talk about all of our programs at Jefferson Center, talk about how we can partner, any of those things. I am your gal. So I will pass it over to Katie.
I'm Katie. I'm the program manager over at Youth Residential Recovery.
And I'm Melissa. I'm the assistant program coordinator.
Great. And we're going to start off by showing you all a short video of the space so you can see what it looks like and where you're sending your kiddos.
This is our yard. We've got some garden boxes, a basketball court, and then spans out to a larger yard over there with a volleyball net and more picnic tables. This is the Youth Residential Recovery Unit. Over here is our milieu room. So this is a good community space to really have space to come together as a group. Our TV is here so we can have some movie time when there's downtime during programming. This is our hallway of the unit. We have a nice chalk wall where the kids can express art. And this is our Zen room. This is a good place to take some space if you need to chill out, have some calming time. This is the client bedrooms. There's 2 beds to each room. Every room has a window where you can see the nice yard and trees. Each room will have their own bathroom. This is our group room where groups are held, academic time is as well. This is another space where together just to be a community on the unit.
Thanks so much for playing that, Josh. And we're going to hand it over to Katie to give you a high-level overview of the program.
Thanks for showing that video, Josh. I will want to highlight that since that video, we've gotten some new bedding. We've decorated a lot more. There's way more color now. We just had some fresh paint, so then we got working on decorating and making it more of a warm and welcoming space for all the clients. So, Youth Residential Recovery is a level 3.5 residential program for youth. So we work with youth 13 to 18 and a half. Primary diagnosis is substance use, but we work with co-occurring as well. We take kids all throughout the state of Colorado. A big piece that is great about youth residential recovery is that we accept Medicaid, and we're the only youth program in the state for residential that accepts Medicaid. When coming to the unit, the kids work with a very multidisciplinary team. We've got nursing throughout the day, we have therapists, we have case management, and case management and discharge planning starts right when they arrive to the unit, really just trying to make sure that there's a fully developed plan while they're here and really have that time to really discuss what support looks like, what resources they need, and really try and make a successful plan for when they discharge. Our average day of the program is 30 to 45 days. We are a co-ed unit and we have 15 beds. And we do have one room that we utilize that if there's any gender differences, any trauma, anything that a youth feels that they need to be roomed alone, we utilize that room. It's also our ADA compliant room as well. On the unit, we have offices as well as the client bedrooms. So my office is on the unit. If the staff or clients need any support or any questions or concerns, the therapist office is on the unit. We have the case manager's office on the unit. Our group room is where the clients do group and have academic time. They have academic time Monday through Friday and work through all the academics during their stay here. We have a TA that connects with the schools to try and make that smooth transition or connect them with GED programs if that's where their educational goals are. We have a med room, as you saw, our Zen room as well. That's a good place if the youth want to take some space and calm down and be able to recenter. It's a nice calming space for them there. While they're here, they will also have opportunities to work on some life skills development. We've got chore time where they get assigned chores throughout the week of completing, and then they do their laundry. So working on developing the skills. So then when they're become adults and they can really be able to help take care of themselves, learn those life skills that are beneficial. And we have goals, so they start their morning setting goals in the morning and working through their day, reflecting on the goals and just checking in on completing them, really looking at barriers and stuff. We have a large yard that has the basketball court and volleyball nets. We have picnic tables throughout, and the clients like to be out there and just get some fresh air, just enjoy the outdoors. We also have a gymnasium that has a basketball court. Well, that has basketball hoops. And then we have a cafeteria. They're all dietitian approved meals there. And they have a variety of options. They always make sure there's fruits and vegetables as well as a full meal. And they will have lunch and dinner in the cafeteria. They start their morning with breakfast on the unit to be able to just smoothly ease into the start of the day. And we will have safety planning as well as discharge planning throughout their stay here and when they arrive on the unit. I think that's all I have that I can think of.
Okay, so these are the links for our referral. We have a referral email as well as an online form. So we do an initial phone screening to schedule like the first ASAM, so that way we can determine what is the appropriate level of care for the client that you are bringing. We do take voluntary, involuntary, and we do parental and community partner referrals. So we create their discharge plan as soon as they get upon the unit. So we talk with, the family, we talk with the client, and we get like the initial idea of what they're looking for, and it's continuously updated throughout their stay. We are the only 3.5 level facility in the state of Colorado that takes Medicaid, and we do also do private insurance and self-pay as well. And so then that way, reduced fees may be available. It's just based on income. And I know that you guys will also be getting the slide, and I see that Jess put it in the chat for the referral email and the link.
So we have created a web page on our website specifically for partners to make it a little easier for you all to, browse our programs and refer to them. So if you go to our website, which is jcmh.org, you'll see in this top blue bar, there is a button that says referrals. You can see it in the screenshot on the screen. When you go in there, you'll see all of our programs. You'll see the referral information, so the online forms and the emails to refer. And then you'll see an email address for the manager or director of the program. Like to highlight that we don't want you sending referrals to those specific people, but using the online link or the referral email listed. But those folks' emails are there in case you have questions, if you'd like to meet with that program manager or director, if you need, would like to talk about partnering with those specific programs, that's what that information is there for. So we'd love for you to visit our partner portal and just know that you can find referral information there for any programs that we have. I also wanted to highlight that our next webinar in the Crisis Services series is the Adult Residential Recovery. We will be highlighting the Adult Residential Recovery Program. That will be in the same format as today's, where we have one at 5 p.m. on the Tuesday of that week, one at 9 a.m. Wednesday, and one at noon Wednesday. The one on Wednesday at noon will have live interpretation in Spanish. And we've been doing that for every webinar. So when I send these slides out to everyone, which I will, everyone on the call, I will include the registration date for that program webinar as well. And we'd love to see you there. So we are going to now take questions that folks have. I have the chat function working now. Sorry about that. And also the Q&A button. So if folks want to submit through either of those channels, we can start answering any questions you have about the program. Let's see here. Okay, looks like we have a question. What are common disqualifiers?
Well, when we're looking to bring a client on, the big things we want to make sure that we look at is making sure that they're medically stable and not needing the extra support medically that we can't support. That could be as simple as oxygen levels or making sure vitals are fine, as maybe more severe medical needs. We want to make sure they're psychologically stable, that they don't need more support or any sort of auditory hallucinations or visual hallucinations that are disruptive to their daily functioning. And any active suicidal ideation, self-harming, or homicidal ideation, that's something that we really need to look at and want to make sure that they have the proper support we need with more one-on-one, eyes-on support.
Thank you. And then we have, what does an average day in YRR look like? Are cell phones allowed or prohibited? So if you could maybe answer that cell phone question and walk us through like the daily schedule.
Yeah. So cell phones are, we encourage them not to bring their cell phones. Any high dollar items we encourage not to bring, just with so many clients and staff, like we'd rather them keep that at home, and it's disruptive to have cell phones. If there is cell phones brought, they're locked up for safekeeping. The only time that we allow cell phone use is during case management time, if it's for pulling up like a verification code for insurances or something like that, or getting contact information for stuff they don't have. But typically, if we need any of that information, we utilize the treatment teams and family members to be able to get that information. We've just seen that cell phones are really disruptive to engagement in groups. And then an average day during the week, the clients have a lot more groups. So they have 7 to 8 groups a day during the week. The weekdays, on the weekends, it's about 5 groups. So the groups vary from the goal setting groups. We've got some clinical groups, some art coping groups, and just like trying to have a variety of the groups throughout the day, all through the week, to make sure that, we're we're gauging the interest in one sort of approach for treatment. Oh, it just doesn't land as another one. And so really trying to make sure that it's not a one size fits all approach. And they get free time throughout between the groups and stuff, and they've got snack time and everything. But typically, it's a lot of groups during the week. We've got academic time Monday through Friday. They have a health education group, and then they meet with their therapist to do one-on-one therapy and then family therapy as well. And then they meet with the case manager pretty regularly during the weekdays to just discuss any discharge planning or any support and resources they would think that they would want to know about.
Is
Clients
there,
do also have scheduled phone times. That's
Mhm.
usually scheduled in the morning during community meeting. So every morning they'll answer kind of like check-in questions. And then they'll like rate their cravings and like their self-esteem scale. And so that's when they'll schedule times. We have like a little sheet and we have our own phone that they'll make calls from. Usually staff on the floor will be the ones like doing the calls, making sure that they're on the approved contact list because we have client folders. And so in the client folders, it'll be kind of like their client information, if there's any allergies, approved phone calls, along with head count. And we also have an incentive process. I think that that helps a lot with behaviors and just treatment in itself is that if they're participating in group, if they're, doing the scheduled activities, they'll get points. And then at the end of the day, every evening, they can get an MP3 player to listen to as a coping skill overnight. They could win prizes like stuffed animals, stickers, fidgets. That's like a big one too. Or a lot of the time it'll be like snack and they'll be able to have it in their cubbies, which is in the milieu. And so night staff will be putting like the snacks and they'll put it in their cubby for when they wake up tomorrow. It's kind of like, I like to think of it as mini Christmas every morning. And I personally think it's cool, but yeah.
great. Are there scheduled recreational and quiet times?
So we have our during our therapeutic leisure time, it's the open availability of gym time. So we on the site itself, we share the gymnasium and the cafeteria with two other units. So we have to like make sure that we're maintaining the rotation of it all. But we try and get the youth into the gym multiple times a day, if not outside, depending on the client preference. So really trying to get them to be able to have those pockets of time, and even during free time, we encourage them to get some physical activity, because youth have a lot of energy, and so really trying to get them to get that out, get the physical activity because it's helpful for getting the movement and blood flow in the body.
Yeah, and quiet time, not really. They do have room time for like shift exchange. So that's where like around like 6:45, we have like all the clients go to their rooms and then somebody's watching the hallway. So then that way we can do our verbal shift exchange as well as like just updates on what went throughout the day, things like that. And then once the next set of employees come out on the floor, then they'll come right out. And then they do have a lights out time. And we just added this to incentives is like if they have their lights out and they're having good sleep etiquette, basically, they're not just up all night. They do get extra points that roll over into the next day. So that has been super helpful for our night staff.
Great. And we have one more question. Can you walk me through what happens when a referral is received on your end?
So on our end, we receive the referral and the intake team looks at the referral information, any collateral that's been sent, and they get in contact to schedule the ASAM. And so we do a virtual ASAM assessment, and it could take an hour. Sometimes it's taking a little bit longer, but we try and shoot for just the hour, depending on how the client referral engages. And then the clinical team meets and staffs the clients, asking any questions that maybe come up, or just evaluating the good fit and just making sure they fit in the level 3.5. And if there's any follow-up questions that weren't caught in the assessment or the collateral, we'll just reach back out to the referral source and gather those answers. And then we work to really coordinate next steps. If someone's admitted or if someone's accepted, then we'll work to select an admit date depending on where they're coming from and what transportation looks like and all of that. And my intake team works to coordinate that. If it's someone who doesn't meet the level of care, that's where we'll provide resources and an explanation of why. And sometimes also, um, in the ASAM, like I said, we need more information. And so sometimes it might even be requesting like a staffing with the referral source to just get some more information, because if we're getting a referral, there's a reason why people are sending them. So wanting to gather that information and really understand if there's anything we're missing.
Thank you. We did have another question come through. How is contact/visitation with family managed?
So with visitation, we do in-person visitation or virtual. We want to make sure we eliminate any barriers for family, because that's one thing, as transportation's been a barrier that's been communicated to us. So we have visitation scheduled on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays during the week, and then on weekends we have multiple times throughout the weekend that they can come visit. And so it's for approved visitors. We encourage that it's just family members and only positive family members. I know that uh, parents are really great about communicating who is approved and who is not, and so really taking that into consideration. And then for professional visits can happen at any time, just either way with visits, communicating with myself and um, the team has to communicate with me, whether it's like reaching out to, like if a parent said they wanted to visit, reaching out and letting us know. It has to be notified 24 hours in advance for family visits, professional. Sometimes we can make that flexibility a little bit quicker because it's different. So the professional visits aren't supervised unless requested, but we do 15-minute checks throughout that. And then the family visits are supervised by the staff. The visitations are 30-minute timeframes, so we have a lot of opportunities to schedule the visits during our windows of time.
We also have a parent and client handbook. So all of this information is given to them and talked about with them so that way everybody is on the same page. Communication is super important to our team. So, making sure that the information is getting there. And a lot of times with phone calls, the kids usually know like their parents' schedule or whoever's on their approved contact list. If we have issues, we do like we'll call the parents and ask, hey, what time works better for them? So then that way we can communicate that because we highly encourage family interaction. So we also do family therapy as well. So we highly encourage everyone to be a part of the process because I mean, realistically, those are the best outcomes.
Thank you. That is all the questions we have right now. Our team will stay on for the next 4 minutes in case something else comes up. Please feel free to put it in the chat or in the Q&A. Otherwise, you'll see an email from me sometime this week sending you these slides, all the contact information, all the links, and information about our next webinar on the Adult Residential Recovery Program in October. Just want to thank you again so much for being here. and remind you that if you have any questions about other programs at Jefferson Center or want to talk about how we can partner closer, please reach out to me, Jessica Smith. I'll put my email in the chat. And just thanks so much for joining us today.